Hello everybody, I'm back with another video, and today I have a special guest with me. This is my grandson. I want to talk about the past, the present, and the future. Now I don't know how long this video is going to be. We're going to talk about some things. I really don't know how it's going to go because we have not rehearsed anything. Watch your foot.
Oh, sorry.
We had discussed doing a video together some time ago, and when he came to me with what he wanted to talk about, I was like, I'm just getting started on my YouTube. You know, I don't know if I want to put that out there, but you know what? I've always taught my grandchildren and my children, when you see something, say something. And if there's nothing that we can't talk about, so first of all, let me introduce him. This is Rock.
Nice to meet everybody.
I gave him that name as a baby, and for me it had a significant meaning. I wanted him to be solid as a man when he grew up, and to make strides and do some things in life. So I was always taught, when you want something, you put it out there. And so this is what we have now. But getting back to what I was saying, I have always taught them and tried to lead by example. And I let him down to a degree, because I could see when I said, well, no, I don't think I want to talk about that. His whole persona just kind of deflated. And that did something to me, because, I mean, we deal with so much out in the world. You shouldn't have to deal with that kind of disappointment, whatever, within your family group or your immediate circle. So after much thought, I'm gonna do it in a different way, but we're gonna talk about this thing. So first off, I apologize.
Oh, it's no problem.
Yeah, I apologize because I just said no, but ask your question.
I just wanted to say that, you know, I'm very appreciative of you letting me be on your channel, and I appreciate you in a lot of other ways too that maybe I don't express or tell you, but you've looked out for me in a lot of ways that no one else has. So I really appreciate that, and there's nothing I could do. Well, I could, but I feel like it's a lot of things that you have done for me that and you showed me, and I wouldn't have seen myself if I wouldn't have had your guidance for me, and I really appreciate that. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, if you don't mind, is the present, and how everything is leading into one thing, which we all know what that is. I just want to...
You want to talk about that?
Right.
Okay. Before we do talk about that, though, I want to talk about the past.
Okay.
We'll get to you can't have a present
Without
or a
past.
future if you have no past.
Right, yeah.
So, in thinking about the way things are going now, everybody is about me, I. And it's so sad. I grew up in a time when people neighbors. Everybody knew each other. You looked out for one another. If I had, you had.
Right.
If you were, short in something, we just looked out for each other.
It's not like that nowadays.
No, unfortunately. I mean, it may be in some places, but as a whole, no, it's not. And everybody has always talked about, you need education, you need this, so that you can compete with them and, let the powers that be know that we are, you can be well educated and you know some things and you show some things and I know we've been miseducated in the school system, just in the world as a whole. What you see is not what's really going on. It never is. This is all a bunch of smoke and mirrors, and I hate that it took me so long to be able to see. I don't know what the ending agenda is, because I can't know that. But I have common sense, thank goodness, because there's some folk out here ain't got no sense that God promised the billy goat. But I can see that things they're not going well, and I know a lot of people are trying to get back to what we used to do, where what we used to know as a norm, that's gone. And the sooner people, figure that out, the better it's going to be on them. One of the things is, okay, y'all know I jumped from here to there to yonder, so he's used to that.
Yeah.
I have to say things when they're on my mind. But one of the things we did talk about was wearing masks. To me, it's not always about trying to stop what they say is out here. A lot of that is about control. And if I can get you to do this, and then I can get you to do this, and then you'll do this. I don't know where that's going to go, but I don't see it going to a good end. And the sad part is, now with this, you got family members against each other. Why can't you do this? Why won't you do that? And in a time when it should be people pulling together and loving one another.
Yeah.
And the fact that one says it's your fault, one side says it's your fault, the other side says no, it's your fault because you won't do. The other one says it's your fault because you did.
You think that's what the government wants? Like,
well, we ain't talking about the government. The government is not the issue. It's the ones that's pulling the strings behind that. And this is another reason I didn't want to talk about this, because like I said, I'm just now starting to get back out here. And there's certain things you can't say on social platforms. And you got these so-called fact checkers that are finding the least little thing that they can to take you down. But today we're gonna talk about it. The powers that be, the ones that are in control, those are the ones that I'm talking about. And it's not about whether or not you're a D or R. They all drinking out the same bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to put blame on nobody. I won't call it blame, but I wish people would wake up to think for themselves. Don't just always do as you're told. You need to research some things. There's some ugly stuff coming down the pike, and people think just because they have taken the V, that, you know, things are going to return to normal, and or what we knew was normal before. And I'm sad to say that that's not going to happen.
Long gone.
Yeah, that's long gone. But what I will tell you is you need to be prepared as much as you can. We've already seen, and y'all, I'm outside, and I just heard my neighbor crank up. People around here got vehicles that make a lot of noise, so and they play the music, so it is what it is. Thank you. I want to say you should be prepared, especially to the young folk your age, and there are some in your dad's, your mom and dad's generation, who do not know how to do things manually. And when I say manually, you know, we used to always fuss about the teachers giving kids calculator to work instead of using your mind to resolve a problem. They give you the calculator, which is going to give you the answer. That's not, you got to see how you get to the answer.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, with that being said, things like everybody runs out to the fast food joint. Now, there's some places I like myself. Man, your business. But you need to know how to do the basics, cooking for yourself. There are people, young folk, and some older ones, that don't know how to cook. Something as simple as making eggs, okay? Yeah, scrambling an egg. Or that's too much work. I need to run down here and get so-and-so. But you don't know so-and-so that's back there in the kitchen that's doing the cooking. You don't know what kind of products that they're using to give you the end product. Whereas if you in your own kitchen, you know exactly what you got.
Right, made it yourself, so you know
make
exactly
it
what you got.
Exactly. And I know it's convenient, and that's what they have sold us over the years. You know, you need to do this, this, and this because it gives you more time to do other things, and you know, pop it in the microwave. Okay, and I know some people gonna hate me, but I don't even care. Microwave ain't made to cook. Actually, cause I told I told my husband when I was conks out, cause he likes to put his stuff in the microwave to warm it up. It only takes a few minutes to put it on the stove or in the countertop oven to heat it up.
All right.
Of course, you got dishes to wash. That's the other thing. Don't want to wash no dishes. And most folks got dishwasher, which I don't. I still wash my dishes by hand. But they don't want to mess up because that's a dish to wash. Okay. Or I'm being presumptive. I'm just saying because I don't know what a person's reason is for why they do how they do. But this is just my opinion. But what I'm saying is, if they were to shut down the fast food joint, or even the good places that, you know, you can go in and get a decent meal, what we call a decent meal. If they were, and not if they were, especially the mom and pops, the smaller businesses, I don't know if they're going to make it through another shutdown, lockdown. You can't do this unless you do that kind of thing. Because a lot of them that went through the first one, they didn't make it. So the ones that held on, they may try to fix it where if you don't enforce certain rules and certain people come in, as we say, then you can no longer have your business. Now, if that were the case, then where you gonna eat? But now you know we love our little place down there, and if that was to close down, I mean that wouldn't be a big thing because most time that's just a treat.
Right.
But I'm saying if it got really down to it, where you either have to do something to be able to patronize this place, or that place can't be open unless the person has done this thing to patronize them, and then they have to close. Okay, what I'm saying is folk need to learn how to cook. Even simple stuff, a pot of beans, which I may do a video on how to sort your beans like I showed you, and get it ready to cook. Everybody wants to do stuff instant, and the Instapot. Ooh, I said it out loud. Okay. That little pot that makes stuff real quick. That's all well and good if you're in a pinch, but there's nothing better than something that has been simmered on the stove, or in a crock pot. I mean, it does the same thing. If this is about time, that the flavors can mingle, and the seasonings that you put in, you can taste all that at the end. When you do something quick and in a hurry, no. He likes to put hot sauce on everything.
Everything.
But to me, I mean, he loves hot sauce. He loves hot stuff, and that's fine. But how are you going to taste the flavor of what someone has prepared if you're going to cover it up with hot sauce? Just like, now, y'all know I say I don't eat meat. Now, why they got to be acting a fool? It ain't... Okay. But you see people who will fix a steak, and then they gonna smother it with steak sauce or some other something. I thought you said you wanted the steak. If it's prepared correctly, then it should have good flavor.
Right.
Okay, what you tasting is whatever came out of that bottle, and that's what your flavor, your taste buds is getting.
Some people say it be too dry. Well, I've heard some people say that.
Well, see, if folk know how to cook, then you don't have that problem. If you got the right cut of meat. And that's a whole nother something else. I ain't talking about no meat. But the main thing I'm trying to get over to people is that you need to know how to do your own if it's necessary. Yeah, you can use that pot for like cooking rice, because everybody don't know how, but it's so simple. It was so simple. I used to shy away from him. I used to shy away from trying to do rice because it never came out correctly, but it was because I didn't know what I was doing. You got YouTube out here, you got Google, or ask an old person, somebody who has done it from scratch. We ain't got to have that rice in the bag that you put in there for 10 minutes and then call that a meal. No. Anyway, what I'm saying is you need to be prepared. Food is now, in some places, in a lot of places, they're calling it shortages, and you can't get what you used to get. But while you can, food is going up so high while you can get what you can, go ahead and stock up. Now, I'm not saying go out there and hoard. I'm just saying when you go to the grocery store, buy a little something extra to put back just in case. I ain't gonna say just in case, cause when stuff hit the fan, that's gonna be for real. And I'm really hoping that it doesn't come very soon, but it seems like every week there's a change, something heading in that direction. So be smart about how you shop and what you do. I just learned how to make soap, y'all.
It's good. It's really good.
Cause that's one of the things, that's an essential, to be, you want for hygiene. Simple things that really does not take a long time, but people don't know this because those are all lost arts.
Some people won't take the time to learn it.
That part. Somebody else can do that.
Yeah.
But baby, what happens when that somebody else ain't there? Then what you gonna do? So I'm saying, yeah, you need to prep. I don't want to sound like an alarmist or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, be aware. The other thing is, stop watching that doggone Squawk Box in there with the. There's so much propaganda in that, and people are falling for it. And some of my, I don't have that many friends because I'm different. But even one that I had been my friend for years and years, she's kind of pulled away because we have different views on what's going on now and what's happening in the future. But you know what? It is what it is. I hate it. I hate it for people who are brainwashed into the things, the stuff that they put out there every day. It's the same thing over and over, and they're pushing it so hard. It's not going to be a good end. Like I say, families and friends are splitting in, they're divided, all because some are listening to one thing and some are, and they're just being nasty to each other. That's whew. With this last election, that turned me on to a whole lot of folk, on social media, calling people stupid and, calling them out their names and just, how in the world? No. You are entitled to your opinion.
Right.
I'm entitled to mine. Just because I don't think like you do does not mean that we gotta fight about it. Okay?
It's not that serious.
It's not. It's really not. Because in the end, it's gonna be all about the human race, not all these other races and this other crap that's going on. It's gonna be about the survival of the human race. And I never thought that I would live to see where we are now. This is not the future that I had thought planned for y'all, my grandchildren. And this is the other thing. And we have discussed this before. I know back in the day and still some now, even though the mode of education is different, but everybody hollering, you gotta get a college degree, you gotta get this and that. But I'm gonna tell you something. Even before I quit working, there were people who had college degrees who were on the line, because there's so many people with that same degree that's vying for these jobs, and only a few of us gonna make it. Yes, I know that they feed it into you that you have to you have to have this education, you got to do this and that. That's the biggest crock of crap. But I ain't gonna talk about that today. What I will tell you is that you need to learn to use your hands, use your mind. There are job skills that you can acquire, whether it be through apprenticeship, on-the-job training. Do like I did when I was working. Get in a book. Go in there and find out what you want to do, and it has to be something that you're gonna like in order for you to keep doing it. But you need to know, because at some point, when these jobs start shutting down, do you have something else that you can fall back on? Do you have a hobby that you can turn into a way to make money? I can't tell people what kind of, what to do, but it's something as simple as photography or carpentry. Getting back to the way things used to be, where folk did it with the hands. You didn't have a whole some company to come in and build your stuff for it. My uncle built his house with a friend of his. Piece by piece, they did it all. It took them a while, but they did it, and it lasted a long time. You need to learn the basics. Okay, now get on. You need to learn the basics, and what you learn to teach somebody else. So everybody's not gonna want to do it, but at some point, if you have to do what's called a bartering system. My great-grandmother had chickens, so she bartered with the lady across the way for eggs. She gave her the eggs. This lady had a cow. They switched out. She got butter. We didn't drink a whole lot of milk, but we got milk from this lady. So if you have something to trade, like I say, the old word was barter, where you trade something for something. If you have a service that you can do to help somebody, and then they can in turn do something for you, that's how you switch out. Because at some point, baby, money ain't gonna mean nothing. It ain't gonna matter how much money you think you got. Your money is gonna be worthless. It's coming to that right now.
Eventually.
And eventually is about to be sooner than we think. Cause look, all you gotta do is check your change. Those that still use, currency. That stuff look like Monopoly money. You drop it on the floor, and it don't make no sound. Okay, I'm talking about the change. And they printing paper money like it's yeah, okay, that ain't gonna end well. So I'm just saying, be prepared. And I'm sure that this is not the way of life that my great-grandparents and my grandparents would have thought that I'd be seeing now. When you're young, you think you're gonna live forever. At least it seems like that. Oh, I can do that later. I can do that later. But time passes by so fast, and then you look up one day and wonder, how in the hell did I get right here? You have to have, like I always tell you need a plan. Well, you need a plan A, you need a plan B, and then you need another plan in case them two don't work. Always be thinking ahead as to what you can do to better yourself within reason. There's material things are not that important. I have learned. I always chased after things that I wanted, and I was able to get, able to afford. But now, as I've gotten older, to me, less is better, or what they say, less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Because, say, as a child, which would you prefer? Would you prefer a gift from a parent, or would you prefer spending time with that parent?
As a child, it would be the gifts.
See, but as you get older, you learn the difference.
That time is more
That
valuable.
time is more valuable.
Mm.
And like the times that we sit and talk, at some point when I'm gone, those are the things you're going to remember. And hopefully we get to talk enough to where that things, when you come into opposition with things, or, problems come up, that there has been something that me or your grandpa have told you that you can glean off of, and be able to solve your problem, or put you on the path to solving your problem. These things are important. Right now, folk are getting, so they can travel and get back out and go to the club or go to the, the fancy restaurants and da-da-da-da-da. That's nothing but, to me, now this is my opinion, them dangling that carrot in front of you. Because they going to snatch that boy back. You ain't got to believe me. Just live long enough to see it yourself. They always put something out there. They create a problem. Then they put a name to it. And then they sell you, or try to sell you, the solution for this problem that they done already created. And it has been done so much, and now that I look back and think, dang, how did I not see that? But because we always believe that certain entities were looking out for us, they don't give a crap about us, okay? One of the things that I gotta learn to stop. I'm sorry, I don't mean to point at you. One of the things that I've learned since I retired, that thing about where you save your money in the 401k and the retirement plans, and they'll give you a little extra if you put this much in, they'll match it and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, if I had known then what I know now, I would have saved my own money, put it wherever I wanted to, invested it the way I wanted to, so that I could get to it when I wanted to. Okay, what they do is, yeah, you got this money that you're going to put in this retirement account that they manage for you, that they use to invest to make money. Yeah, you get a little bit extra, but they use it to invest to make money for themselves. And you got all these fees and these penalties if you take the money out before they say, or you move it before they say you can use it. That's a bunch of crap. Okay?
Sounds like it is.
Ain't no sound, it is. It's a bunch of happy hooey. That's all I can say on here. But a lot of those things are even getting shut down because they're not able to make the money off of it like they had been before. But I'm thinking, everybody has to do what's best for them. If what you're doing is working for you, have at it. But I'm here to tell you that things are about to change with a quickness. And if you're not ready, you're going to be left behind. There are people who are going they're going to wind up starving because they're not prepared. And I try to tell people this, you know, they call you a prepper, or they got derogatory names for people who, or you're hoarding, you know, just not very good. Those are the ones who have not peeped what's coming. And I'm here to say, and I've tried to tell friends and family, I do what I can when I can, but I'm giving you the information so you can do things for yourself. Cause just the thing, yeah, I cook, but I can't feed everybody. Yeah, I do other things. Ooh, now here you got to go. But I have to take care of my circle as you should be taking care of your circle. No matter what you hear, because I can hear people now saying, that's not real. There's always, they can't do this, or they can't. If nothing else, the past 18 months should show you that they can do whatever they want, whenever they want to. They change the rules in the middle of the game. Mm-hmm. It has happened over the years, but it just seems like now, in the past, months, that if they can't get you this way, okay, well, let's tell them this and see if it works. And then people still fall for it. But I'm not here to talk about whether you fall for it or not. What I want to say is, no matter what they do, love conquers all. And even folk who you think don't deserve it, you should still have good intention. Now, I'm not saying let folk run over you. You know, we don't do that. Right. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, you try to treat people as you want to be treated. And back in the day, they called that the golden rule. Now, it should be just human nature. But everybody's so busy trying to pull away and take what they can get and not leave none for nobody else. And that's unfortunate. It really is. Because, again, as a kid, I can remember people, my great-grandmama was a good cook. Big Mama cooked. She make a biscuit walk. But on Sunday, people don't visit each other anymore. And this was going on even before all this C word. Back then, Sunday was the day of rest where, folks went to church, they come home and they had their family meal, and then neighbors or friends would come by unannounced, which I still got a problem with that, but it wasn't nothing for Uncle so-and-so to come up, or your cousins and your family to come, or Mr. so-and-so from across the way would come because they knew my grandma could cook good. And they would come, and no matter what, they were always offered something to eat, something cool to drink. Nobody has that. Well, I ain't gonna say nobody, but most folk don't have that hospitality anymore. It's, don't come over here. I ain't got nothing for you. And that's not the way to be. I may not do certain things, but I would never deny somebody a sandwich or a meal. If I'm cooking, you're welcome to eat.
And I don't mean to butt in, but
it's all right, go ahead.
I just think that, you just don't really know somebody's true intentions with you. And I think that's how a lot of other people feel too. So that's why they are more strict on what they do for people. Because nowadays, like I said, you never know what somebody's true intentions are with someone.
Yeah.
And what they really want out of you until I guess when it
hits.
yeah, when it comes out to the light, or you know, I just think that it's a different time. So
It is.
I mean,
I agree.
That was a good time when you could go to such and such house to hang with them and, you know, get a good little meal or something. But like I said, I know it's different times now. So
and it's unfortunate that y'all don't get to experience that, except when you come to grandma's house. Now, when you come to grandma's house, we feed you good, and then send you on your way.
Yeah, send you on your way.
Send you on your way. But yeah, and then there was no ulterior motive. Now the little man down the road, he had an ulterior motive. He didn't. His wife had passed away, and he knew he could come get good conversation, a good meal, and a nice dessert, and then go home. But I know what you mean when you say what people's intentions are. We've gotten away, as a community that look like us, we have gotten away from that. Now it's every man for himself, and if you get left behind, oh well.
Yeah.
I know every generation is different, and I'm sure there were things that I did in my generation. My mama would shake her head, because I lost my great-grandparents who helped raise me to a degree. I lost them early. But I'm sure there were things. And they tried to tell me, just like I tried to tell y'all. And my thing was, oh, that was the old-fashioned way. It ain't done that way no more.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm smarter than that. I won't get caught in that trap. But baby, let me tell you, as I always say, the stage is still the same. The players may be different. You got different players, but the same things that pull you down the wrong road, they still out there. They just got a different face.
Right.
Same thing. Nothing has changed. Or as they say, there's nothing new under the sun. It's just a cycle. Everything goes in a cycle. The way it's done may be differently, and they may call it something else, but it's still the same thing.
Same thing.
Still the same thing. So, trying to think that I forgot to bring my notes out here so I have some reference. But all in all, I think, you got anything you want to add?
Not at the moment. I think that's it for today.
Okay, all right. Well, y'all, thank you for listening to me ramble on like I always do. If you got any comments, please leave them below. Let us know what you think. Maybe next time we can get him to talk a little bit more, and we can get the perspective of the young folk. You don't just have to listen to old lady ramble. He does all the time. Out of all my grandchildren, this is the one that listens to the wisdoms that I try to put out. They listen, but not to the degree that he does. And I appreciate that, because I'm hoping, just like my mom, I don't think that she thought that I was listening when she was telling me things, but I was. And that's how I am able to pass some of these things on to y'all and people out there that's listening. So with that said, until the next video, peace and love to you.
Peace and love.
In abundance. Yeah. Bye, y'all.